Okay, so today, let's dive into CRM. I mean, we all know how much a good CRM can transform a business, streamline sales, happier customers. But, and this is a big but, those prices, am I right?
Yeah, it's tough because it feels like to grow, you need the right tools, but then those tools end up being a huge expense right up front.
Exactly. And it's not like you want to drain your budget before you even know if it'll work out.
Yeah.
Which is why, by the way, we're talking about Wizard Systems today. They're tackling this very issue head on. Basically, they've got this whole financing thing going on, right?
Yeah.
And it's designed to make these top-tier CRMs way more affordable. Think less about dropping a ton of money at once and more about smart monthly payments you can actually manage.
And the really cool thing is that they're not just like slapping a new label on some old financing scheme. They've clearly put a lot of thought into the problems businesses actually face when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like those upfront costs we were talking about. Wizard Systems gets it. Their plan means a much smaller initial investment to get started.
It's like they're making it less risky, which is huge if you're a smaller company or just hesitant to commit that much money up front, right?
Totally. And it's not just about that initial cost either. I mean, think about it. Implementing a whole CRM system, then the training, and of course the ongoing support adds up so fast. But Wizard Systems figured out how to bundle all of that into the monthly payment so it's predictable.
Right. It really struck me how comprehensive their approach is. It's not just, here's the software, good luck. They're selling a solution that makes the whole process smoother and budget-friendly.
Absolutely. And let's be real for a sec. Nobody wants to max out their credit just to get their hands on some fancy new software.
Especially these days. Protecting your credit is so important. It gives you the flexibility to handle whatever comes up.
And Wizard Systems gets that. They've structured this whole thing so it doesn't hammer your credit.
Which is honestly a game changer because it means you're not sacrificing your future flexibility for short-term gains.
Okay, so we've talked about the whole budget thing, but what about this? Technology moves so fast. What happens when that brand new CRM you invested in is suddenly outdated?
The fear of obsolescence, right? You finally take the plunge and bam, new version comes out with a million new features you don't have.
Yep. And that's where I think Wizard Systems really stands out, because they've actually factored in things like future maintenance and support into those financing options.
It's like they've built in a safety net, right? You can upgrade without the stress of a huge new expense.
Exactly. Future-proof without breaking the bank. And while we always say it's best to check with a tax pro for your specific situation, it's worth mentioning that Wizard Systems does point out some potential tax advantages to their financing plans.
Right. And again, it comes back to that big picture approach we were talking about. They're not just thinking about the immediate sale. They're thinking about the client's overall financial well-being. A lot of times, lease payments can be treated as pre-tax business expenses, which, could mean nice savings come tax time.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something businesses want to hear. And while we're on the subject of making things easier, let's talk fixed payments. Interest rates, well, who knows what they're doing half the time, up, down. But Wizard Systems locks in that monthly payment right from the start.
Predictability. So important in business because you can actually plan ahead without worrying about some crazy interest rate hike messing everything up.
Peace of mind. Seriously. Can you imagine launching a big marketing push and then suddenly your CRM payment skyrockets because interest rates went haywire? With Wizard Systems, that's not even on your radar. No constant recalculations, no stress. Just focus on growing your business.
Exactly. And this is something I think is really important to emphasize. This whole financing model, it's not just some fad. Wizard Systems is onto something here. This is how smart businesses are doing it now.
It makes you wonder why we didn't think of this sooner, right? I mean, we lease equipment all the time, cars even. Why not lease the tech that's just as vital to running things?
It's adapting, right? Keeping up with how fast everything's moving these days. This model helps businesses keep pace.
And the best part is, it's not overly complicated. Wizard Systems keeps it straightforward. They've got different terms, 24, 36, 48, even 60 months. You can find what works for your budget.
Options. Flexibility. So important because it lets businesses make decisions that align with their own goals, whether they're in rapid growth mode or taking a more careful approach.
Exactly. No cookie-cutter solutions. And here's something else for those who like options. Wizard Systems even has a provision so you can get ownership of the CRM when the lease is up.
Yeah.
So it's like a try before you buy, which I'm a huge fan of.
Totally. You can really get to know the system, see how it works for you and your business, and then you can decide if you want to fully commit later on. No rush.
I like that. So anyone listening who's been on the fence about a CRM, Hesitant maybe because of the whole financial side of things, I think Wizard Systems has really presented the solid option here.
Definitely. I think they're changing the game when it comes to software and how we pay for it, you know? It doesn't have to be this giant hurdle anymore. It's about making it work for you so you can actually use the tools that help you grow.
Couldn't have put it better myself. I think what they're really saying is, we're confident in what we've built here. We want to make it easy for you to experience it.
Yeah, and I think that says a lot. It shows they're not just trying to make a quick buck, but actually build those long-term relationships.
Totally agree. So as we wrap things up here today, here's something to think about. Where do you want your business to be a year from now? What could you accomplish with the right CRM by your side?
Don't let those initial costs scare you off. Sometimes taking that chance is all it takes to really unlock some serious growth.
Exactly. And who knows, that chance might be a lot less daunting than you imagine.